basketball player in the world?
I like your curiosity. I'll tell you. Muggsy Bogues is the shortest player in the National Basketball Association history, listed at 5 feet 3 inches tall. He was drafted 12th overall by the Washington Bullets in 1987.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
I'm glad you asked.
Hey, High Impact.
Hi, how may I help you?
Who is the fastest man in the world?
That's very simple. It's Usain Bolt. He is the fastest runner on the planet, setting the world record for the shortest 100 meters sprint time of 9.58 seconds.
Wow, thank you.
You're welcome.
From the greens of golf to the court of tennis and basketball, the octagon of UFC to the square room for boxing, track of Formula One, and the pitch of football. Join the sports crew on Sport Hub 6 to 7 p.m. Mondays and Wednesdays, Fridays 5 to 6 p.m. and 2 p.m. on Saturdays. Here on iImpact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Reviews, views, and interviews just the way you like it. Exclusive on High Impact Radio 102.1 FM, Lagos. Sport Hub for all the updates and analysis.
This is Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM. For the best in sport entertainment, tune in to Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM.
Oh, what a feeling. Look what we've overcome. Oh, I'm gonna wave away my flag and count all the reasons we are the champions. There ain't no turning back. Saying, oh, can't you taste the feeling? Saying, oh, we all together singing. Look how far we.
All right, we're feeling good, we're feeling fly this Monday evening in the industrial city of Lagos. Sports Talk Show on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, right here, preaching the gospel sport to you for 60 minutes. All of the in-swingers, all the lancer passes, the slam, and the dunks as well. Because I tell you what, from the greens of golf to the octagon of the UFC to the square of boxing to the pitch of football, and of course to the track of Formula One, I've got all of the stories for you this evening. Whether you're a sport person, an athlete, or someone who loves the thrill of the game, this is the right place for you to be. The late night bit has gone all around the world to catch these scores, and I am more than willing to serve them to you just the way you like it. One route to the game, just to make sure that you're logged in and logged on here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Don't forget that we can disagree without disagreeing. Lots of actions from the world of sport this weekend, because I've got stories from the world of basketball. There are tennis stories for you, and we are into the finals of the first Grand Slam of the year. I'm talking to you about the Australian Open. Some mouth-watering matchups to look forward to: Djokovic and Alcaraz. And of course, on the other hand, you'll be having the likes of the middle, and also there's Ben Shelton, who finally got the better of the 30-year-old Gael Monfils earlier today as well. A lot of talks coming through from both the ATP and the WTA. For the WTA, big matchup for Kogarev and also Paulo Badosa, and they will be on the underside of either of Emma Navarro or Iga Swiatek. Lots of stories coming through from that particular world of football. Well, not too good for Manchester United. A couple of fans be like, okay, we feel like now we are back, but at the end of the day, they are back to square one. Exactly. Some aula right there by Andrew Onana gifting Brighton and Hove Albion another chance to secure a win right there at Old Trafford. Make that 6 defeats in 7 meetings for Manchester United between these two sides. And away from that, we also got stories coming through from the Nigerian football scene. Not just the Nigerian football scene, the Nigerian sports scene as well. Because guys, guess what? When men were sleeping earlier today, the junior female Yellow Greens are making the country proud right there in Malaysia. All of this and many more we'll be taking a look at in the course of the show. So to mind that I can keep track of these updates and more by following us across all streaming platforms. We are live on our Facebook fan page at iImpact Radio 102.1 FM. We're also live on YouTube at iImpact 1021 FM, on X, on Twitter at iImpact 1021 FM. Let me hear your thoughts, your comments, and also your observations about all of the games that went down this weekend. Of course, we'll talk about the English Premier League. One thing that they are now back, and they are back with full force. I was talking about Manchester City went on a 6-0 rout of Ipswich Town right there at the Portsmouth Road. And Nigerian representative on the continent, Eyimba, finally out of there, packed their bag or whatever it is you call it, maybe baggages this time around, got knocked out 3-1 right there in Egypt. We get into that story on the show this evening as well. Ayodeji Ajiboye is my name, and an absolute honor to be your host on the show this evening. I go on a quick breaker, and when I'm back, we get straight into the back of the crack of the net of all of the stories I've got for you this evening. Don't go anywhere, citizens. I'll be back before you know it.
This is Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM. For the best in sport entertainment, tune in to Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM.
Put a touch of class and finesse on your brand by advertising with us at High Impact 1021 FM. For more information,
call 0706 393 5694, 0915 958 1881, or 0902 745 3931.
follow us on our social media platforms at High Impact 1021 FM. Our deals are hotter than the weather itself.
Our deals are hotter than the weather itself. For the best in sport entertainment, tune in to Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM. This is Sports Hub on High Impact 102.1 FM.
To the Sports Talk Show right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, Monday edition of the show. In case you're tuning in for the very first time, we serve this package on Mondays and Wednesdays 6 p.m. down to 7 p.m. On Fridays 2 p.m. down to on Fridays 5 p.m. down to 6 p.m. and on Saturdays 2 to 3 p.m. your early morning sport tonic. Mondays through to Fridays 10 a.m. down to the flip side of there. I was there this morning and I told you about the historic feat that was achieved earlier today by the Nigerian junior female Yellow Greens, having become the first Nigerian female team to win at the Cricket World Cup. And earlier this morning at 2025 ICC Under-19 Women's T20 World Cup in Malaysia, they were able to defeat New Zealand by 2 runs in a thrilling match. The victory is Nigeria's first ever win at a Women's World Cup. And after Nigeria's opening game against Samoa that was delayed due to rain and the weather again threatened to interfere with the game against New Zealand, the match was delayed by over 2 hours, resulting in fewer overs being played. New Zealand won the toss and chose to field first, allowing Nigeria to take a bow. And Nigeria's captain Lucy Petty made history by hitting the country's first ever 6 at the Women's World Cup. She also led the team's innings, helping them reach 65 runs for 4 wickets in 13 overs. And in reply, Nigeria's bowler kept their cool and restricted New Zealand to 63 runs for 6 wickets, securing dramatic 2-run victory, marking historic achievement for women's cricket in Nigeria. So much has been said about this particular team going into this tournament, and of course a couple of tournament matches that they've played, getting on the front foot in all of those games. Don't forget that before this tournament they played some friendlies against the likes of Scotland, and also they played against Pakistan as well. This is just to tell you that whatever it is that they're doing right now, they work definitely worked hard for it, and then they are getting the dividends of all of this. This is the second game they are playing. The first game was adjudged to be a draw match, and now they are looking forward into their next game, which is going to be played this Wednesday as well. Anyway, from that, a morning of winnings on a Monday morning for Nigerian teams, because Team Nigeria also emerged as the overall best country at the ITFT tennis. That is at the West and Central Africa Junior Tennis Championship in Lomé, Togo, over the weekend as well. 3 titles in the individual events, 2 titles in the under 14 girls and boys teams event, and also several other podium finishes. Nigeria amassed a whopping point of 1,120, finishing ahead of Cameroon, who had 865 points in second place, and Benin Republic, who had 610 points in third place. And this particular one is coming from the Niger Tennis Live. Quick update from the world of Nigerian tennis. And away from that right now, let's make a stop in the world of football, where Imbas FC joining the 2025 CAF Confederations Cup ended yesterday, following a 3-1 defeat to Zamalek Sports Club in Cairo. The loss ensured that Nigerian club finished third in Group D, failing to progress to the quarterfinals. The 2-time African champions entered the final group stage fixture, needing a win to keep their hopes alive, but were outclassed by the defending champions Zamalek. The Egyptian side secured a comfortable victory, confirming their place in the knockout stages alongside compatriot Masar SC. And disappointing campaign raises questions about the performance of Nigerian clubs on the continental stage, with Enyimba, the nation's most successful club in African competition, unable to break that particular trend of at least reaching the quarterfinals like Rivers United did in 2022-2023 season, and also 2024-2025 season. Quarterfinals are beckoning for the Egyptian clubs. Enyimba are looking to refocus on the domestic league. Just as that one has ended, we are also celebrating the fact that we will still be having 4 teams to represent the country on the continent come next season, because 12th and 13th on the CAF coefficient means that we have 1 point above Mali, because their own representatives too, Stade Malien, also finished 4th in their own group, which gives us 1 point just above them. So yes, Yorubas will say Orikoyo, of course. Ori actually helped Nigerian teams, which means we'll still be having 4 representatives on the continent come next season, 2 for the Champions League and 2 for the CAF Confederations Cup. And still more stories coming through from the home front before we go straight into the second stanza of the season in the Nigerian Premier Football League. There are thoughts coming through from the President Federations Cup, with state competition looking to get on the way. The state preliminaries of this year's President Federations Cup competition are getting underway earlier today. The final matches in the state are to be played either 22nd of February or 23rd. According to the Nigerian Football Federations Competition Department, it's been said that all final matches in the state are to be played on either Saturday 22nd February or Sunday 23rd February 2025, except in special cases approved by the NFF. The national playoffs of this year's competition has been scheduled for 5th March, with the national draw a week later, while the round of 64, 32 and 16 are scheduled for 19th March, 2nd April and 16th April this year. The quarterfinals have been slated for 3rd and 4th May, with the semifinals also fixed for 17th and 18th May this year. Still taking more stories coming through from the continent this evening. It's been said that Morocco has now been selected to host the headquarters of the newly formed African Clubs Association, ACA, after a competitive bidding process involving South Africa, Morocco, Algeria. Morocco emerged as a unanimous choice during the ACA board meeting that was held last Friday. According to a report by a Nigerian journalist who was present at the event, Morocco and Algeria had invited ACA officials to inspect their facilities, but it was Morocco's superior infrastructure and its role in advancing football on the continent that ultimately swayed the decision. The vice president from Nigeria, Paul Bassi, who is the ACA vice president from Nigeria, also explained that after careful evaluation of all debates, Morocco's infrastructure and vision for the future of African football made the ideal choice to host the headquarters for the next 50 years, guys. Morocco definitely taking African football by storm. People are saying Morocco is not on the level of anyone when it comes to facilities on the African continent, because right now it's been said that construction of the world's largest stadium, which is named as Stade Hassan II, has begun in Ben Slimane near Casablanca in Morocco. And the details of that stadium is the fact that it's going to be on over 100 hectares of land. The capacity is going to be approximately 118,000 spectators, and the completion is expected to take them within 3 years, which means the stadium is expected to host the 2030 World Cup final. Amazing feat right there from the Moroccan Football Federation. Just the way they have taken Africa. I don't want to say they've taken African football to a ransom, but of course they are doing so great when it comes to African football right there, putting African football on the biggest stage you can ever think about. And away from that, right now, let's go straight to Europe with us coming through from other sports on the show this evening. Sports Up Show right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. Don't forget, you can be a part of the show. Let's get interactive. Citizens 0704 425 2109 0704 425 2109. You can send me your message on WhatsApp, maybe a regular text message 0907 224-5018. Don't forget, we are live on our Facebook fan page at iImpact Radio 102.1 FM, and as well join us on our YouTube channel at iImpact 1021 FM. I will start with the world of tennis on the show this evening, just as we are into the final stages of the 15-day-long Australian Open tournament. A couple of names are already out already. Big names, if you ask me, but then we've seen the upset, and then we hope that, it's going to be a familiar foe who is going to be lifting this trophy this time around. Just imagine Novak Djokovic right there. After the quarterfinal game that will be played tomorrow between himself and Carlos Alcaraz, winning that game and then walking out, becoming the man with the most Grand Slam trophy, the most Grand Slam trophy by any man on earth at the age of 37. Is definitely in case to win his 25th major Grand Slam. We look forward to see how it's going to pan out. But yes, quick stories coming through is that defending champion Yannick Sinner came through a tough physical battle against Olga Rune to reach the Australian Open quarterfinals earlier this morning. Been said that a match that was disrupted by medical timeouts and broken nets. Both Sinner and Rune seem to struggle with the 32 degrees Celsius heat on Road Lava Arena. Sinner, towards the end of the second set and into the third, was visibly shaking during the changeovers as he swapped ice towels around his neck. But the world number one prevailed, winning 6-3, 3-6, 6-3, 6-2 against the Danish man. He will now be facing Alex de Minaur, the last Australian standing in the singles, and next after he claimed an assured 6-0, 7-6, 6-3 win over American Alex Michelson to reach the Melbourne last 8 for the first time in his own career. And elsewhere, fellow Italian Lorenzo Sonego beat American qualifier Lena 10 6-3, 6-2, 3-6, 6-1 to reach his first Grand Slam quarterfinal as well. Sonego will now be playing 24th seed Ben Shelton after the Americans' fourth-round opponent Gil Monfils retired with the back issue while trailing 7-6, 6-7, 7-6, 1-0. Like I mentioned to you, some amazing matchups to look forward to in the ATP and also the WTA, giving you how it's going to go down in the next couple of days. Of course, it's going to be Novak Djokovic up against Carlos Alcaraz. Tommy Paul will be up against Alexander Zverev. Then Ben Shelton will be up against Lorenzo Sonego. And then Yannick Sinner up against Alex de Minaur for the quarterfinal appearance, and then we'll go straight into semifinals. Some amazing brackets right here. People on the other side, and in the WTA it's going to be Aryna Sabalenka up against Pavlyuchenkova, and then Madison Keys up against Elina Svitolina. Kokugara will be hosting Paulo Badosa, while Emad Navarro will be hosting Iga Swiatek. Talking about Iga Swiatek, by the way, news coming through about her on the show this evening. It's been said that the World Anti-Doping Agency earlier today it will not appeal in the case of Igor Swiatek, who last year accepted a 1-month ban after testing positive for a banned substance. WADA said it decided after a thorough review found that the contaminated melatonin scenario as presented by the athlete and accepted by the ITIA is plausible. A 5-time tennis Grand Slam champion Swiatek pulled out of the WTA's Asian Swing in September, citing personal matters. Only later was it revealed that the former world number one had been absent because of a 1-month ban for testing positive for the banned art drug trimethazidine. She denies knowingly doping, saying it came from a contaminated non-prescription medication, and the International Tennis Integrity Agency accepted the violation was not intentional, and she accepted a 1-month sanction. The Poland star breezed into the quarterfinals of the Australian Open earlier this morning as well. Saying earlier this month that the doping ban has sparked inner turmoil and chaos, calling it the worst time in her life and also her career. And away from tennis talks this evening, let's go straight into the world of basketball, where Giannis Antetokounmpo was star for Milwaukee Bucks as they defeated the short-handed Philadelphia 76ers 123 to 109 points at the Forum, securing their 4th straight victory. The win improved the Bucks' record to 24-17 as they have won 7 of their last 8 games, including a perfect 4-0 homestand. And meanwhile, the 76ers, struggling with only 9 players available, dropped to 15-26. Don't forget they had a tough time against the Bucks, who capitalized on the 76ers' lack of depth. Giannis set the tone early in the game, finishing with an impressive 34 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists on 13 of 17 shooting, and his dominance continued in the 4th quarter of that game, where he scored 16 points, helping the Bucks pull away after a close game. Giannis also made history, becoming the 30th player in the NBA history to reach 22,000 career points. His strong performance, along with contributions from other players like Taurean Prince, who had 11 points, Brook Lopez, who had 12 points, also helped secure the win for the Bucks. And more basketball stories on this show this evening. Golden State Warriors star Draymond Green has been ruled out of tonight's game against the Boston Celtics with a left calf strain, while Stephen Curry is questionable with a left ankle sprain as well. Head coach Steve Kerr said Green was supposed to undergo an MRI yesterday Sunday, and the Warriors are expected to give an update on his injury later today. The Warriors could be looking at some time without their defensive leader, who limped off the floor just 3 minutes into Saturday's game with a calf injury and was ruled out shortly after that. Green had just returned after missing the 3 previous games due to illness and a back issue. Curry, meanwhile, injured his left ankle near the end of Saturday's 122-114 win over the Washington Wizards, and he said Saturday in the locker room that he feels great, and then look forward to see the team later tonight, Monday. The Warriors have been hit hard by injuries. Jonathan Kuminga injured his right ankle on January 4 and was ruled out for at least 3 weeks, and he is likely will need longer than that to return. Brandon has also been ruled out since December 28th with an abdominal injury, and there's also Kai Anderson, who is also out with a glute injury. See the Sports Talk Show right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM, bringing you all of the latest updates coming through from the ever exciting, ever dynamic, and sometimes controversial world of sports. Preaching it to you as I see it, and I expect to hear it from you in the same way as well. Before we go straight to Europe, and now we talk about tantalizing game of football. Amazing result from all of the matches that went down this weekend, because I tell you what, some mouth-watering encounters, especially in the Spanish La Liga, where one team who have been on a 15-game unbeaten run had the cut short by another low side right there in the Italian, I beg your pardon, in the Spanish La Liga, and for another side, talking about the Los Blancos, they were able to get on the front foot in their own game. Kylian Mbappe seemingly looking to get back at the top form, of course, where you think he is going to be for Real Madrid, starring in the absence of Vinicius Junior for the team right there. And before we go into the result, let me quickly give you the rundown of the Copa del Rey draw that was done earlier today. Record 31-time Copa del Rey winners Barcelona will be facing Valencia in the quarterfinals after the two sides appeared in the draw that was done earlier today. As Spanish and European champions, Real Madrid will travel to neighbors Leganés, while Atletico Madrid will be hosting Getafe in another capital derby clash. Barca thumped Real Betis 5-1 in the last 16 to progress to the last 8, and then they will face the Loche in the repeat of the 2019 final, which Valencia won 2-1. Real Sociedad will be welcoming Osasuna in the other match, with the quarterfinals to be played between February 4 and 6, and the full draw of the quarterfinals is Valencia up against Barca. Real Madrid travel to Leganés. Atletico Madrid will be hosting Getafe, and Real Sociedad will be hosting Osasuna. And away from that draw now, still talking about the Spanish La Liga on the show this evening. Yesterday it was said that Real Madrid president Florentino Perez was re-elected with a mandate until 2029 after running for the position unopposed. Madrid announced the news after their 4-1 thrashing of La Palma helped them to move top of La Liga yesterday. Perez, 77, I beg your pardon, has now not faced opposition in 4 elections that make that 2013, 2017, 2021, and 2025. Since returning to the club in 2009 for a second spell at the helm of the affairs, the Spanish businessman was first elected as Madrid president in 2000, overseeing the club's Galactico era, and resigned in 2006. And since he returned in 2009, Madrid have won 5 Spanish league titles and the remarkable 6 European Cups, among other silverwares. And quickly going through all of the results of matches that went down in the Spanish La Liga over the weekend. Girona were at home when Sevilla thumped them 2-1, and Nigerian's own poster boy Chidera Ejuke, just coming back from injury, also featured for the team in that game. Leganés were at home when they defeated Atletico Madrid 1-0, putting a stop to the former leaders' club record 15-game winning run, which has started from late last year. And as we said at the goal, Simeone's side had won every game since the loss at Real Betis on 27th of October 2024, but the crucial goal on Saturday came when Leganés centre-back Nastasic headed in front of Dan Raba's cross. Julian Alvarez and Anthony Griezmann had both hit the woodwork in the first half, with the game still goalless. Rayo Vallecano also played on Sunday, playing out a 1-1 draw against Osasuna. Real Madrid were 4-1 winners over La Palma right there at the Santiago Bernabeu. Kylian Mbappe getting a brace in that game, taking his tally for this season into 16 goals. Brahim Diaz also scored in the 33rd minute, and Rodrigo Goes also got on the score sheet in the 57th minute of that game. Kylian Mbappe scored twice as Real Madrid came from behind to beat La Palma, and they are now top of the La Liga at 2 points separating them from city rivals Atletico Madrid. Attention will now be turning to this Wednesday's game when they will be hosting Red Bull Salzburg in the Champions League. Because guys, guess what? It's another week of Champions League football, and we're definitely looking forward to all of the excitement. Back over the weekend as well, played out a 1-1 draw away from home to Getafe. That was at the Stadio Coliseum, where Jules Koundé scoring early goal in that particular game. 9th minute was when Barca scored, but of course they dropped a point. A lot of Barca fans were furious with that game. Say, what sort of team is this particular one that's talking about Getafe? Talk about their low block. They definitely did not give Barca a chance in that particular game right there. And quickly taking a look at the Spanish La Liga table right now, Real Madrid at top of the log with 46 points. Atletico Madrid same number of games played with 44 points. Barca are third on the log with 39 points, closely followed by Athletic Club, who now have 39 points as well, and that is the top 4 in the Spanish La Liga. Away from the Spanish La Liga right now, I'm bringing you stories coming through from the English Premier League. Don't forget that we'll also still be taking a look at transfer beats just as we have them on the back pages of the major dailies on the show this evening. But then quickly, let's talk about one man who is now a subject of talks in the English Premier League. And I was talking about Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim, who said he thought he would make headlines, and it was absolutely correct. The Manchester United manager described his team as maybe the worst in the 147-year history of the club after their 3-1 defeat against Brighton and Hove Albion on Sunday. According to pundits, they are now divided over the wisdom of the comment made by the manager. Because yes, according to him, and I'm going to quote him, he said, this particular team has to be the worst Manchester United team in history. United's defeat by Brighton was the first loss in their last 5 home Premier League games and leaves them 13th in the Premier League table. They have collected 11 points in 11 league games since Amorim replaced Erik ten Hag last November. I'm quickly running you through the list of matches that were played in English Premier League this weekend. Newcastle United were at home when AFC Bournemouth and that was a big stunning, I tell you. And a lot of our fans are already giving it to their manager, Iraola, right now, saying since he took over, he's been able to defeat all of the top dogs. He's giving them no breathing space at all. I mean, who would have thought that game would end that way? On Saturday, by the way. And for Eddie Howe, this is the third time he's going to be facing his former side, and he's not been able to get a point away from that game. From when it ended, Justin Kluivert getting a hat-trick of goals in that one, while Kakes also scored in the death of the game. Bruno Guimaraes also getting a consolation goal right there for Newcastle United. Other games on Saturday saw Liverpool travel to Brentford and were able to defeat them 2-0. Fulham as well traveled to the King's Power Stadium to win 2 goals away from home. West Ham United were at home when Crystal Palace thumped them 2-0 too. The game on Saturday, Jean-Philippe Mateta gave Crystal Palace an away victory in that game. He got the brace, by the way. Mateta latching onto that sublime pass right there. I also got a resulting spot kick under Fabianski, sealing the victory for them. Right now, Palace have now moved up to 12th in the English Premier League table. West Ham 1 point behind them in 14th place. And skedaddling into the games that went down on Sunday, where Manchester City were big winners of the week. 6-0. It ended at the Portsmouth Road. Phil Foden getting a brace in that one. Matej Kovacic, Jeremy Doku, Erling Haaland, also James McCarthy getting on the score sheet. Manchester City, of course, looked like their old selves as they recorded their biggest Premier League win of the season by trashing struggling Ipswich at the Portsmouth Road to move back into the top 4 after letting slip a goal when the game was 2-2 with Brentford last weekend. Of course, Pep Guardiola's side returned to winning ways in an emphatic fashion. Phil Foden particularly excellent, scoring twice and assisting another of the 6 goals, with his double coming in the second half of that game. Well, for Manchester City, you can call this season a season of misery and also history for them, because this season has not panned out the way so many Manchester City fans would have hoped. The reigning champions are sitting 12 points behind league leaders Liverpool as we speak. Other games on Sunday also saw Nottingham Forest winning at home 3-2 against Southampton. Callum Hudson-Odoi and also Chris Wood getting on the score sheet. Same with Anderson, and of course Nottingham Forest this season. You can call them the dark horse of the English Premier League. Everton also winning 3-2 against Tottenham Hotspur. A good one on the return for David Moyes. 20 years down the line, he's back right there at the Goodison Park, and he's get the team to score again. Don't forget that when the team was under Sean Dyche, they struggled in front of goal, not getting enough goals. And the English Premier League table is seeing Liverpool top of the log with 50 points after 21 matches. Arsenal second on the log with 44 points after playing 22 games. And Nottingham Forest are third on the log, same number of games as Arsenal, 44 points. City are currently fourth on the log with 38 points after 22 matches have been played in the English Premier League. Mining gold in the bottom of the English Premier League, Southampton with 6 points. Leicester City with 14 points. Ipswich Town are second from bottom with 16 points as well after playing the same number of games, 22 games right there in the English Premier League. I'm quickly taking thoughts coming through from the Italian Serie A on the show this evening. On Saturday, saw Bologna have been 3-1 winners over Monza. Juventus were 2-0 winners over AC Milan. Big game right there. Timothy West scoring in 64 minutes, as well as Mbangula also getting on the score sheet for Juventus. There was also Atlanta who lost at home 2-3 against Napoli at the Gewi Stadium. Refegio and also Ademola Lookman getting on the score sheet. But thanks to Politano, Scott McTominay, and also Romelu Lukaku, who restored parity for Napoli in that game. Scott McTominay and Romelu Lukaku scoring as leaders beat title rivals Atlanta. Matteo Retegui was the first to score the goal before Matteo Politano also refouled Napoli's equalizer from a tight angle. And on Sunday, it was Inter Milan who were 3-1 winners over Empoli. Hellas Verona were at home when Lazio outthrown them 3-0. Parma played out a 1-0 against Venezia. Cagliari were 4-1 winners over Leeds. And Fiorentina played out a 1-0 draw against Torino. Taking a look at the Serie A table right now, 50 points. Napoli sitting at summit of the table. Albeit they have one game more than the second place. Inter Milan were on 47 points. Atlanta are third on the log with 43 points after playing 21 matches as well. And Lazio Roma at fourth on the log with 39 points after playing 21 matches as well. And away from that, let's go straight into the French Ligue 1 this evening. Result of matches this weekend saw Olympique Lyonnais playing out a 0-0 draw against Toulouse. Rennes played out a 1-2 loss at home to Stade Brest, while RC Lens were at home when Paris Saint-Germain turned them 2-0. Paris Saint-Germain looks like they are not going to be missing Kouja Kvaratskhelia anytime soon as well. Fabien Ruiz and also Bakola are getting on the score sheet right there for Paris Saint-Germain. And on Sunday, it was Saint-Etienne who played out a 1-0 draw against Nantes, and also Nigerian's own poster boy, Moses Simon, scoring the 40th minute of that encounter. A very early goal. Angers played out a 2-0 win over AJ Auxerre. Reims played out a 1-0 draw against Le Havre, and Olympique Marseille also played out a 1-0 draw against Strasbourg. Former Manchester United attacker, Mason Greenwood, scoring a penalty to get an equalizer for Olympique Marseille right there. 1-1 that one ended. And quickly going through the table in the French Ligue 1 right there. Paris Saint-Germain at the summit with 46 points. You can call them runaway league leaders already. Olympique Marseille are second on the log with 37 points. Lille are third on the log with 32 points. Monaco are fourth on the log with 31. Nice are fifth on the log with 30 points right there. And quickly reviewing the German Bundesliga and also the matches that went down this weekend. Yesterday saw Union Berlin playing out a 2-1 win over Mainz 05. Werder Bremen were at home when Augsburg turned them 2-0. On Saturday saw Bayern Munich winning 3-2 at home against Wolfsburg. And of course, Leon Goretzka scored twice for Bayern Munich in that game, holding on against Wolfsburg to go 7 points clear at the top of the Bundesliga table. Vincent Kompany's side scored in the 20th minute when Goretzka struck from 25 yards into the bottom left. And this is how the log is looking like after 18 matches have been played in the German Bundesliga. Bayern Munich are currently top of the summit with 45 points from 18 matches. Bayern Leverkusen are second on the log with 41 points, same number of games. Eintracht Frankfurt are third on the log with 36 points, while VfB Stuttgart are fourth on the log with 32 points. A couple of matches are going to be played later this evening, by the way. Just in the English Premier League, I have a game between Chelsea and Wolverhampton Wanderers at about 9 p.m. Nigerian time, right there at the Stamford Bridge. And Chelsea's Cole Palmer, Levi Colwill, Enzo Fernandez, Romeo Lavia all missed training on Friday. And of course, there are doubts for this game. Bene Badiashile and also Wesley Fofana are still on the sidelines for the Blues. While for Wolverhampton Wanderers, Mario Lemina is available for selection after apologizing to boss Victor Pereira for asking to be left out of the squad for the midweek defeat at Newcastle United. Forward Matheus Cunha had flu this week and is also a doubt. Totti Gomez is expected to be back from his hamstring injury next week, while Boubacar Traoré has returned to training. Taking a look at the head-to-head between Chelsea and Wolverhampton Wanderers, Chelsea ended a run of 3 straight league defeats against Wolves by winning this season's reverse fixture 6-2 at the Molineux in August. And after a 4-2 victory at Stamford Bridge last season, Wolves are aiming to secure back-to-back league wins at Chelsea for the first time since February 1964. Chelsea are, however, winless in 5 league games. They've done 3 and lost 2, immediately following a run of 5 straight victories. And let's say just 43% of their points this season have come from home, 16 of 37, and the lowest proportion in the top flight. All hands in glove, and we look forward to see how this game is going to pan out. In the Spanish La Liga, is going to be Villarreal who will be hosting Mallorca, and Como will be hosting Udinese. In the Italian Serie A later this evening, Como, by the way, they are said to have now signed former Tottenham Hotspur and also Everton player Dele Alli. Don't forget that Como are currently being coached by former Chelsea and also Barca attacker that I was talking about, Cesc Fabregas. And right now, quickly going through transfer bid just as we have them on the back pages of the major dailies. Being said that Manchester United are of course in the market and are exploring the possibility of signing a left back this January if they can make room in their budget. United finances are said to be tight, but the possible departures of Marcus Rashford and Anthony could be freeing up the funds. Anthony, by the way, is said to be on his way to Real Betis, with Real Betis looking to cover a part of his current salary, which United are taking bulk of it. And of course, news still coming through about Anthony. It's going to be a straight loan deal with no option to buy. Currently, Diego Dalot, predominantly a right back, has been pressed into action as a left wing back in Ruben Amorim's 3-4-3 formation. United have 2 natural left backs in the squad, and it's been said that Tare Malaysia is going to be going out on loan this season as well. The other player, who is Luke Shaw, who has been out injured for a long time. And according to sources, club recruitment staff have drawn up a list of possible options at left back, including Liz Patrick Dogu. Inquiries have also been made about Wolverhampton Wanderers Ryan Artnori and Crystal Palace left back Tariq Mitchell. Anyway, from that, Chelsea have also agreed a fee in the region of 13 to 15 million euros. That's about $13.5 million for Strasbourg centre-back Mamadou Sarr. Enzo Maresca's side have found themselves in the market for defenders following injuries to Wesley Fofana and also Bene Badiashile. The club were considering a move for Crystal Palace captain Maguire before opting to recall his defensive partner Trevor Chalobah, who was on loan at the Selhurst Park. Sarr has been a mainstay in the Strasbourg defence, making 14 appearances for the club this season across all competitions. Still more transfer bid just as you have them in the back pages of the major dailies on the show. This evening, Bayern Munich are said to be the latest club to show a firm interest in Borussia Dortmund winger Jamie Gettins. Gettins, who is 20, is the latest in line of young English talent to make his way at Dortmund, following on form of Jadon Sancho and also Jude Bellingham. He was in the youth academy of Reading, Chelsea, and then Manchester City before moving to the Bundesliga for the first team football in 2022. I already mentioned to you that Manchester United are in talks with Leeds over the arrival of fullback Patrick Dogu, and of course, it's been said that United need to raise funds before they can sign anyone, and they are looking to explore the possibility of selling Alejandro Garnacho to Napoli for about 60 million euros, while possible departures of Marcus Rashford and Anthony could also free up space for them. Manchester City, by the way, are also considering bringing back former player Douglas Luiz, who has struggled at Juventus since joining the Serie A club from Aston Villa last summer. Al-Hilal superstar Neymar also greenlit a return to his boyhood club Santos on loan. Negotiations are now reportedly underway between the two clubs, though no agreement has been reached. Neymar started his career with the Brazilian outfit Santos, scoring 107 goals in 177 league appearances between 2009 and 2013. Bundesliga clubs are also monitoring Lyon forward Ryan Cherki ahead of his anticipated exit. The 21-year-old said to be available in the summer for around 22 million euros is attracting interest from Borussia Dortmund, Bayern Munich, and also Bayer Leverkusen. Sports Up Show right here on Empire Radio 102.1 FM. And there you have it. That's how much we're taking on the show for today. And before I wrap things up, it's been said that FC Porto have now announced the dismissal of Victor Bruno earlier today, making him the third coach to be sacked by one of Portugal's three main clubs this season. The 42-year-old took over from near AC Milan boss Sergio Conceição in the close season, but was dismissed after Porto lost ground in the title race following back-to-back league defeats this month. Porto's academy director, Jose Tavares, will take over as coach on an interim basis. The club confirmed earlier today. Sunday's 3-1 loss to Gil Vicente marks Porto's third consecutive defeat in all competitions, and they are also been beaten by Sporting Lisbon in the semi-finals of the League Cup on January 7. Porto have now slipped to third in the table, 4 points behind leader Sporting, while Benfica moved into second place over the weekend. Benfica, don't forget, they also parted with German coach Roger Schmidt at the end of August, while Sporting sacked Ben Amorim's successor, João Pereira, just over a month after Amorim departed from Manchester United. The Sports Up Show will be returning on Wednesday between 6 p.m. down to 7 p.m. once again. On Friday, we'll bring it to you 5 p.m. down to 6 p.m. On Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m. 1 hour of banter, 1 hour of rage, 1 hour of views, reviews, and all of the interviews. Ayode Jajibo is signing out this evening. I tell you to stay sporty, stay active, drink enough water to stay hydrated. Go out there, be the best version of yourself. Don't forget to be kind, because kindness is cool. I'll see you when I see you, and I love you with the love of God. Good evening, citizens. Once again, good evening.
You're looking for an avenue to blast your brand? Why not let us be your detonator at High Impact Radio 102.1 FM with Got You Covered. For advert placement, sponsorship, partnership, call us on 0706 393 5694 0915 958 1881 0902 745 3931 or send an email to info@highimpactstudio.com.
It's been raining mediocre. Repetition. Boring. But this frequency modulation, 102.1 FM, has opened multiple umbrellas to shield you from it all.
Cheer.
Step under the umbrella of the Morning Impact Show and explore a world of morning information, metro stories, newspaper review, sports in a jiffy, conversations of the day, and games. Move over to the umbrella of the Hey Midday Show and get familiar with the FFO